This is ENX, the former Texas All-Star Wrestling Cruiserweight Champion, and you're watching Saturday night's main event.
Can y'all hear that? Team's watching Breaking
All
Bad.
right, and we are live.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Saturday Night's Main Event podcast. I am your host, Dan the Man, along with my two great friends, Slim Tim and Isaiah. And tonight we have a very special guest for you. He is one half of the former Texas All-Star Wrestling World Tag Team Champions. I give you the love muscle, Ryan Russell. How are you tonight, buddy?
I'm doing excellent, sir. How are y'all guys doing tonight?
Man, good. Now that you're here, we're even better.
Hey, happy to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Absolutely, my man. This is a long time in the making. We wanted
Yes.
you when we first started this thing, so we're glad we're able to sign, seal, and deliver this thing.
Yes, we are.
I will say y'all are my first, so congratulations.
Yes.
Yes.
And especially with the name The Love Muscle, that means a lot.
Tell you, it means everything.
Oh God.
Yes.
At least he's not around here to give us all hugs right now.
No, you want that. Don't
Oh.
lie.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I probably would accept it.
Yeah,
You know,
everyone accepts it. Whether you want it or not, you get it.
it happens.
It happens.
Yes.
Just go with it. It's like we tell everyone when we're at the show. Just go with it. Just give them
Just
the
go with
hug.
it.
I always hug them tight, and they try to fight it off. And the reason being, I'm always in their ear saying, "Shh, just let it happen."
Just go with
Yeah.
Just go with it.
it. It's natural.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Who was it? Was it Cam? I forget if it was Cam while we were interviewing him, or if whenever he was in studio, whenever I was doing his pictures. But it's either Cam or Zuko. But one of them was like, yeah, "I gotta admit, he is a good hugger."
Zuko would never admit it, so it's got to be Cam.
Probably Cam.
But usually we like to start off this interview by asking you, what were your first experiences with pro wrestling as a fan?
You know, dating back to when I was a kid, I don't remember how old I was, but I think I had to have been under 8. But I went to the Houston Coliseum back when it was still up and before it got demolished. And I remember seeing Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I remember seeing, I want to say the Hulk Hogan was there. I don't remember much of the show, but I remember seeing the show. I remember the excitement, the experience, being wowed by the wrestlers and everything. It was just amazing.
Now, what year would have this been?
The year of 19, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Honesty is a virtue.
Yes. Yeah, I want to say probably like late 80s, early 90s.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've told these guys here that my first show was March of '89, and I got to see Hulk Hogan wrestle the Big Boss Man in the big blue wrought iron steel cage.
Oh yeah, uh-huh.
I was 3 years old, and I still remember Hogan climbing up to the top of the cage and ripping his shirt off. I will never, ever forget that.
It leaves an imprint.
Dude, it does, man. I've been a fan since then.
I want to say it was probably 88 or 89. It was a long time ago.
Damn.
I still have the Hulk Hogan bandana that my grandmother got me from that night.
Man, I wish I would have kept on my wrestling memorabilia. Honestly, I watched it when I was a kid, like a young kid, and then as I got older, my mom did not like me watching wrestling because it was the Attitude Era, and just so happens every single time that she walked into the room, it was the lingerie match or there was something, and she's like, all these women, and she would get so mad at me that I was watching this and how it was degrading to women. And I was like, hold on, don't you watch Desperate Housewives?
Yeah.
It's like, come on now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Touche.
I had to sneak around and watch wrestling.
Sounds like it sounds like me when I was younger. I had to sneak around and watch Beavis and Butthead. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Those boys whacking in my shed again.
Yeah. The boys be whacking off in my tool shed. All right, Hank. Yeah, I wasn't very sneaky when I was a wrestling fan. So when TNA first came out, like in the early 2000s, it would come on while I was at school, so I would record it onto a VHS tape.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of labeling the tape total nonstop action wrestling episodes, like a logical wrestling fan, I just labeled it TNA tape. TNA tape. So I get home and my mom goes, "What the fuck is this?" And I said, "What are you talking about, Mom?" "This shit, tits, nuts, and ass. What is this?" And I said, "Mom, I promise it's just episodes of TNA wrestling." So I had to show it to her, and
Oh, she thought you were watching porn.
yeah. Oh,
They're
yeah.
like, Mom, that's under the bed.
Yeah.
Can show you that if you like. Jeez. Only you, Daniel. Only you.
So, going on with that, what was your first experience with pro wrestling, and what was going through your head when you got into the ring for the first time?
Well, one of the owners, the partner of Texas All Star, Scobie, he is the person who actually got me into the school. So growing up, I've always wanted to pursue it. I've always wanted to try it. But back in the day, they didn't have Facebook. They didn't have, I'm older than the internet, as I tell my kids. So it was really hard to find a wrestling school to go to. Finally, I'm working one day, and he had been coming in. He was a regular at a bar. I was a bar back, and he was a regular. And I hear him talking close to close. He's like, "All this up here is from Blade and from wrestling," and I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" He's like, "Yeah, I own a wrestling school. You should come on down." I was like, "No way." He's like, "Yeah, you're a good fit. Come on." So about 2 months later, he finally convinced me to come down there, and I have to say that wrestling by far is the only thing that I have felt at home doing. I've never been nervous. I've never been scared. I mean that even for the first time walking out of the curtain, I was not nervous. I was excited and anxious and ready to go, but I didn't have the big butterflies. I didn't feel like I was going to throw up. I didn't, I wasn't uneasy. I was very excited and very happy every single time I walked through the curtains. But my first day and my first bump, as they say, um, oddly enough, they thought that the lead trainer thought that Scobie had stole me from another school, and I had already been training, which I hadn't. That was probably like the best impression I could ever leave on somebody. And then, like for the next hour, I proceeded to show them that I was lucky with that. Um, but it's been a crazy ride. I started wrestling late, and I've loved every single second of it.
That's good.
Now, is it pretty safe to say that TASW is like your home company? Like, how long have you been with TASW?
Uh, 7 years. I started training about 6 or 7 years ago, I want to say. They are the company that I trained with, and I have only taken a few bookings outside of Texas All Star. Either from not pursuing it because I've seen a lot of other shows and I want to be a part of something that is amazing. And it's no disrespect to um, any other company out there. I don't mean to but I love our shows from start to finish. You've got high flying, you've got comedy, you've got action, you've got hard hitting, you've got brawling, and that's just my cup of tea. But yeah, I've worked with a few different companies, been lucky enough to do that.
That's good.
So, we've been to quite a few shows, TSW shows, and I think it's a fair assessment to say that you're one of the more popular and most likable faces of the company. Have you ever been asked to be a heel, or have you ever thought about being heel? Like, is that something that you would ever try? Because you're so good at what you do and being the character that you are and being so likable as you are.
Um, I think for me, because during training, and I also not lately, but for a while there, I was helping out with the training, and so I would play a heel and a face during practice matches or whatever. Is definitely something that I enjoy doing. Would I be considered doing? Yeah, I'd do it. Like I do whatever they need me to do. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think the love muscle gimmick, I think it can go both ways. You know, I think it'd be easy for me to go heel. I prefer to stay face.
Yeah.
I enjoy it, you know, because I know that I'm gonna work my butt off to be the best bad guy, and they're gonna hate me just as much as they love me. So I'd rather be loved. I don't want anything thrown at me, you know?
So is it
Exactly.
pretty much safe to say that you're we didn't get to go to Star Wars. I would
Uh-huh.
have loved to, but my daughter's birthday came before anything. But is it pretty safe to say that you're not going to accept Donovan Bishop's offer? I seen him hand that business card to you.
Um, I'm not gonna say yes or no. I like to keep my options open. Um, I think whatever fits best for the love muscle, whether it be doing what I do with Galactica again, you know, we still have not gotten our rematch.
No.
So whether it's sticking with him and doing that, or you know, there's I've held the tag team title, I've held the cruiserweight title, and the only one I haven't held is that heavyweight. And that's, you know, if that's not your goal when you get into this business, then you should not be in this business.
Yeah, you don't want to stay mediocre. You want to go for the high top of the mountain.
Exactly.
So you think we might see in the near future Nate Bradley versus Ryan Russell? We might.
Hey, it's not going to be the first time. I'll tell you what, if you go in the archives, you will find several bangers with me and Nate Bradley, and that's been one of my favorite opponents.
And see, I would love to be able to go back and watch those. Like I reached out to Nate not too long ago. We talk all the time now.
Mhm.
And I asked him, I said, look, what as a TASW fan, what do I need to do to possibly say, hey, for the people that aren't able to attend the events, can we get them on YouTube so we can watch them? Because we really enjoy this product and we want to keep up with it. And he just basically told me they just like to only put up clips of it to want you to come.
Exactly. If you give them the whole thing for free, what's the point of coming out to the
Yeah.
show?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I was in a band for quite a while, and you know, they kept saying, let's go live for this set and that set. I'm like, well, I mean, let's go live for 10 or 15 minutes and then shut it off.
Yeah.
And they're like, why? And I was like, because I don't want them to stay at home and watch the show. I want them to come and watch the show.
Absolutely.
It's kind of the
Yeah.
draw. Like it sucks because I do have some family and some friends who live out of town or out of state. And I would love for them to see me, you know, live or the whole thing from start to finish. But at the same time, we're trying to draw people in more and more.
Yeah.
Would that be like something that you would have someone in the audience recording at least just your match to send to them?
Absolutely. Yes. I try to get every match that I have.
Oh, okay.
It's not only just not just for that, but also to study and to be better, to learn the craft.
See, a lot of people that we've talked to so far, and I mean Nate Bradley probably does it too, but I I think, as you know, I've played sports. I've done, you know, ROTC when I was in high school, and the one thing I would always have my mom or someone do is record me, and just so I can work on what was lacking to be a better performer, or you know, a football player or anything that I was doing. And so I can see your point on that one, where you know you want those videos to watch when you get home, to study them, to see, hey, I could have done that maneuver a little different, or whatever else that you look at when you're looking at the video.
Right. That's exactly what it is. Even when I was training, I had somebody with me, and I made sure that they would record my first couple times of trying something, so I can go back and look at it and see, because you know the trainers are always giving you feedback and helping you out and doing things, but to actually see what they're saying, because I can't see what I do, I can only do it. But being able to go back and look at, like, oh, that's what he meant by blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a favorite venue that you guys have shows at?
Uh, man, it's a toss up between Cypress and Southern Star. But Southern Star, they got some new products, so they moved us around. I like the area because we had a nice wide area.
Yeah.
Having people real close to the ring, because you know, you're gonna be cram packed, is cool too. Don't be wrong. Like I like having fans right there, but I like room to move around the ring as well. You know, somebody wants to do, you know, if I need to dive off the top or something like that, I have room and I don't have to worry about kicking somebody in the face on the way down.
What can you tell us about the 1836 backyard? Have you performed there before?
1886, yes. It has got a great it has a huge space for us. It's going to be covered. This is going to be our fourth or fifth time there, I believe. We recently did back in the day we did all the Umble shows at a place called Coaches. But then they stopped having us. And then it burned down to the ground, not by us.
Probably just
And then
karma.
yeah, pretty much that's what I think. Uh and then we did it at a place called Crazy Girl Saloon. And that was a really cool place too. That's actually one of my home places if I need to go to the local watering hole. I currently work there in another bar too. And that was great too. It was always packed out. That was actually where I debuted in Humble. Was at Crazy Girl, and then the ground on the outside was too unlevel, so we couldn't get the ring set right. So then we moved over to 1886, and they are great to us too. They close off a whole back section of the bar because it's huge. Um, the ring and everything is covered, and then outside of it we have even more space.
Nice.
So it's a great venue.
I think that's going to be our next one that we go to, because we went to the one at the VFW, and we all three of us said that the VFW had more room. We like the fact that there's tables, so you're not just sitting there, arms in your lap, getting uncomfortable. You're able to be comfortable and watch the show and engage in the show and not have to worry about being uncomfortable.
Yes, yes. I like different venues for different reasons. But yeah, those two. I mean, also Cypress. I remember when I started going there, and I don't know if it was just because of the season. I don't know. But it wasn't. We had a pretty good regular crowd. But now just what it's grown into, 9 times out of 10, it's just the crowd is packed and they are involved, and that's where we have our monthly show. So they know the stories, they know the characters, and just for that being said, like I love doing stuff there because it's easy for them to keep up.
Yeah, the VFW show, the Break It Off, was my first show there because I went to the one before that. What was the one we went to before that at Southern Star? What
It was what, a week or two before that one.
That one was the
I can't-
Rumble.
Was it the Conroe Rumble or something like that?
Yes. Yeah, we went to that one. That I enjoyed that one, but I think I enjoyed, and it's not for the performers. I loved the action. It was like Tim said, the VFW was just more comfortable.
It was a lot more comfortable, and I don't know if it was just the acoustics there, but that place got super loud.
Yeah,
Like,
I think that's what I liked about it too.
Yeah.
And that's what we feed off is the crowd. They just even a little bit lively, big lively. That's what we love. So even if it's just the acoustics, I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, going back to what Daniel was asking you about Donovan, I mean, man, the crowd goes so wild when he comes out to the point you can't even hear him. We don't even know
covering his face.
we don't even know what his gimmick is, because when he comes out, everyone's booing him. When he speaks into the mic, he's not even speaking loud enough.
My opinion, and I'm gonna be as respectful and cordial as possible. Whatever the storyline is for his character, the development needs to hurry up because the fans we're getting bored, and he talks for too long. At the Conroe Rumble, he spoke for like 20 minutes, and like, dude, I was ready to just get up and go grab another beer. Like, I couldn't take it anymore. And like Tim said, we can't hear him. He's too soft spoken. He talks too long. Like, we get it. We think he's trying to recruit some wrestlers. He's I don't know. Whatever the story is, it needs to speed up a little bit because the buildup is a bit boring. Very, very boring. Sorry.
Yeah, I think on one hand you have any reaction is better than no reaction, and on the other hand, it's um, you know, I don't look at how boring he is or how soft spoken he is. I look at what matches can he get for me.
Yeah.
If I was considering it. If they walk out and he gets a reaction, then he gets a reaction. I'm not worried about that.
Would you consider the heat that he has with the crowd? Out of everybody there, I feel like he gets like nuclear heat. I do.
I think that Lobo gets nuclear heat. I think that
Okay.
he gets atomic bomb heat. Let's do.
Okay, I think you're right about that one. But you do have to give Donovan, I will give him his flowers on this. His vignette videos that he posts on social media, fantastic. Fantastic. But I've always liked the darker characters like that. I've always been enthralled with them. To me, he almost has like a Bray Wyatt-esque promo style. And that is so great. And I've commended him on that. Like I said, Isaiah's not the biggest fan of him. I like him. I do. He has grown on me. I don't fanboy over him, but I like him for his creativity. He's a creative guy.
He
Yeah,
really.
The character is creative. I appreciate that he's put so much effort and meticulous planning into his wardrobe. I respect it. The character is there. I'm just waiting for some development because the buildup is excruciating. That's all I'm saying. And the dialogue is too low and too long. That's all I really have to say about it.
So what kind of questions do you got, Daniel?
Other than music, what are some of your favorite hobbies outside of the ring?
I mean, music and spending time with my kids, man. I don't get enough time with my kids. I'm usually working 2 jobs or so, and then between the wrestling, recently in December, I split ways with my band, and I was basically working from 10 a.m. till 3 or 4 a.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday I would work Friday morning, and then have a show with the band Friday night, and then Saturday. Sometimes, if we had an early show with the band, I would go play a show, and then go to wrestling, and do a match, and then Sunday would be my day off. So I never got a lot of time with them. So here recently, I've been enjoying the time that I have with my kids. And then outside of that, just wrestling. Like I don't. I'm kind of simplistic.
Now, you said that you were in a reggae band?
I was in a reggae rock band. Yeah, we were mainly a cover band, but we would do stuff like Seven Nation Army and turn it reggae, and then mash it up with Marilyn Manson, but keep it reggae.
Nice.
Yeah, we would do Hotel California and change it reggae. Like it was all kinds of stuff. Like we figured what can we do.
Now I'm infatuated because I'm a diehard metalhead, man. Now
Mhm.
you said Manson turned into reggae. What
Yes.
Manson song would you turn reggae?
Sweet Dreams.
Wow.
I would actually like to
That's
hear
cool.
that.
That's cool.
I would actually like to hear that.
I
Yep.
would too.
Was that your Carlito impression?
Yes.
That's cool. That's cool.
That's
That's
cool.
cool.
I can see if I can find an old video that we have of it. We never really we went live a few times, and then I got some videos that I got with my own phone. But we never really went in a studio. Our lead singer was doing a lot of the studio stuff, and then we would come in and put some input into it, give him our ideas. Sometimes he used them, sometimes he didn't. The final product came out, and we're like, oh, okay.
Say okay.
But I can look back and see if I can find something.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I would actually like to hear that because I'm the type of guy where I listen to everything, even if I don't understand it, I still listen to it.
Tim knows me. I'm the guy that listens to the music you can understand.
Well, so it's funny is that my lead singer is also, or my old lead singer was the lead singer, and he was the rhythm guitarist of the band. But when we started doing this, he was actually, in fact, the drummer and singer of a metal band.
Yeah.
So he would do the backup vocals, and then they had a lead singer who would play guitar, and then a bassist, and they were pretty heavy. They've been around for a long time.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they've been on tour with people like OTEP. They've been on tour with they opened up for Drowning Pool. They opened up for What's the Swedish band? I can't think of them. Huge Avatar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they went on tour with Avatar. When it came to Houston and they got rained out for the Houston Open Air,
Yeah,
Avatar did that free show at Scout Bar,
yeah.
and my lead singer, who was the drummer of the other band, opened up for him. They were the only openers. They
Oh,
called
that's
him up.
cool.
Yeah, they called him up because they had just gotten off tour and said, "Hey, we want you guys to open up. It's only going to be you guys. Come on out." And they are phenomenal dudes. They're all awesome, both bands.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because I remember that night, Avenged Sevenfold was supposed to headline, but they ended up moving to another venue and inviting a couple hundred people.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about that's one of those chicken shit and a chicken salad kind of moments.
Dude, I was so mad because my favorite band, Seven Dust, was on tour with another band that I absolutely loved at the time called 12 Foot Ninja.
Okay.
And that was their only Houston date, and they're both supposed to play that day, and it got rained out, and they didn't reschedule another one in Houston. So I never got to see 12 Foot Ninja before they split.
So
Oh man.
about 2 years ago, I don't remember when the day was. It wasn't too long. It wasn't too long ago. Isaiah called me, and I was at a Goodwill with my wife, and it was super last minute. And he goes, "Hey, I had a buddy that was going to go to the Corn and Stain concert with me. He backed out. He got called into work. Would you like to go?" Literally last minute thing. So I met him at the Woodlands. We went to go see Corn and Stain. So I've seen them a couple times, but I think it's in August. Limp Bizkit is coming. They are a bucket list band that I have to see from the '90s. I think I'm going to shell out and go to that concert.
I think you should.
Those guys, dude, they just did a festival in Argentina. Dude, they had like 16,000 people on the floor just jumping at one time. I'm like, dude, these dudes still have it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was back from the 90s.
Dude, Limp Bizkit is still the shit.
Yeah, West Borland's weird as hell, but a great guitarist. He comes up with some of the most amazing sounds.
His looks every show are so awesome.
Yes.
Face paint, his contacts, just everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what he's doing it all for.
The Nookie.
There you go. See? Perfect segue. You're welcome.
So getting back into the wrestling, right now, if you were to, and I know you just stated that you would probably never leave Texas All-Star, but if you were offered right now on the table 3 major promotions in the U.S., where would you go and why?
I mean, I think everyone's ultimate goal is WWE.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be super cool. But I think that TNA probably, just because when I look at their a lot. That's hard to say because now WWE is ran by Triple H, the creative part of it, and what was lacking to me was a story.
Mm-hmm.
They for a long time with Vince, they would start this feud, and all of a sudden some other writer is like, "Oh no, I want them over here," so just break that feud off without a payoff, and then move over here. Like you never got good stories, complete stories. You look back in the day in the Attitude Era, and you had, Stone Cold and The Rock, and even though like Triple H would be in the middle of it, you still carried on that Stone Cold and Rock feud with Triple H and whoever. Like it was a good revolving circle, and that's what I love. I love the storytelling of wrestling. So I think now with Triple H going, I would love to be at WWE. Who would I likely get signed by? Probably TNA or Impact, if it was an option.
So I know when we had Nate on about a month or two ago, his dream destination would have been New Japan. Would you ever go to New Japan if you were offered?
I would go over there and see it, but no, I'm not the biggest fan of New Japan. They've got some great athletes. They've got some great matches. But to me, that's not really my cup of tea. I would go absolutely if offered. I would never turn down an opportunity. Plus, I love a challenge. So it's, the language barrier. I know the crowds are completely different over there. It'd be a huge challenge, and of course, I would accept the challenge. But Is that someplace that I would want to end up at? No, probably not.
So, just a quick question to keep going with that.
Yeah.
Uh, so if you were to get signed on with WWE, which one would you go to? Would you go to SmackDown or would you go to Raw?
Uh,
That
probably Raw.
to Raw.
I was thinking NXT just because, but they've got amazing. One thing I do love about what I do, I've been in the business not for as long as a lot of other people, but one of my favorite things to do is to help the younger talent. I'm not going to divulge my age, but I'm not young. Like I said, I got into this late, but I love working with new talent. I'm going to give big props to a big heel, ENX.
Yeah.
That dude, from the time he started training to where he is now, he listens to everything and he applies it. That kid has got the full potential to get anywhere that he wants to go.
And we all see
And
it.
yeah, and I love working with him. I love working against him. I loved helping out training him back in the day, but like that's well, before he became a little snotty nosed brat, a little schoolgirl. He was cool back then, but I guess he knows it all now. Um, but no, like that's my love is training, and then I've helped. I wouldn't say produce because I just threw my ideas in. But I enjoy helping with those types of things, those types of roles. So NXT's covered on that with Shawn Michaels. Even though it would be a dream of mine to work side by side Shawn Michaels, man, he's by far the best,
Oh,
one
wow.
of the best, but my favorite. Um, but yeah, probably Raw because I grew up watching Raw. I mean, SmackDown was always cool. I would take either one of them. Let's not lie. Let's not kid.
Yeah.
But probably Raw if I could choose.
Yeah, I mean, I know if you were to get signed on, you would probably go NXT first just to see how everything goes and see if
Mm-hmm.
if you can take what they push at you, and then hopefully get on Raw.
Yeah, a lot of people like wonder why some of these bigger names in the indies go to NXT first. But the reality is indies is completely different than WWE and AEW. Because you have cues that you have to hit, like cameras that you have to remember where it's at. The hard cam, you're working toward the hard cam, you're going to this and this position, and that like there's things you have to consciously remember. You don't just like I love what I do. I don't have to worry about where the camera is. I'm always looking for the camera, but I don't have to like do a promo cut one way or take a finisher doing it this way or whatever. It's a lot different than if you are doing the indies for 10 12 years doing things just how you do them, and then you go into professional world and you're shooting a show like it's a TV show. It takes time to adjust your craft to that.
Yeah.
Now, do you keep up with like the bigger indie promotions like GCW and stuff like that?
No, honestly, I probably about a year into training, I kind of stopped watching a lot of wrestling. Now, that being said, I'm busy all the time, so that's one thing. But I am a part of different, Facebook groups and stuff like that. And they, if I see people talking about a certain segment or promo, or people are continually talking about a feud, I'll go and look it up. I'll look up all the promos, all the feud, and I'll pay attention to it. But I haven't for a while. Like WWE is recapturing my attention again, like I said, because it's like for a while now, you didn't know who was going to face who at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I mean, they made it to where it could go six ways, like it could be this person or that person or this person. You didn't know until they like all of a sudden, boom, here it is.
Yeah.
And I love that. That's what draws me in. It's
Yeah,
not a
it seems like WrestleMania 40 is
Unpredictable.
that, and like like don't get me wrong, I'm always excited around WrestleMania season, but this one just feels different.
mm-hmm.
This one feels big.
I mean, it's
There's
because
so many different possibilities for every single match. Outcomes, people interfering, people returning, people. There's so many different ways it can go. You don't know.
and that's what I love about Triple H because of McMahon out of the picture now, and it's Triple H running everything. I'm loving how he's throwing everything out there to, like how I just said, it's unpredictable. It's to the point where, you know, with the cards, which we'll get to later, but excuse me, you don't know exactly who's going to win because of the fact of you got this person against this person. They've been going at it for, you know, a year or 2 years. Now all of a sudden they're getting this big match. Now all of a sudden we're like, okay, but this guy's taking so much beating. Is he really going to be able to finish it?
Mm-hmm. And also, I think gotten back to the long-term booking. Like they got away from it for so long. They were like, oh, here's a feud for a few months. Oh, here's a feud for a couple months. Oh, here now it's like they're looking at the longevity. They're setting up long-term stories which keep you invested.
Yeah.
And I love that. They did that back in the Attitude Era, and you just couldn't keep your eyes off it. That's what made me watch it so much. And then it just kind of went into like what I call ADD, ADHD wrestling, where you're just like your attention span's this long. So this person versus this person for a match or two, and then that's gone. And now we're gonna do this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm really hoping that this year is the year of Gunther to win the world title, dude. I think it is.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they've set up so many different possibilities for the coming year, and depending on how they end WrestleMania or how WrestleMania goes, they can set up even more for the following year.
The one
They've just done such a good job.
The one that I'm really wanting to see, and they're doing the storyline so well now, is the Uso brothers.
Oh yes,
we've all been waiting for it. They talked about it on an interview a while back that the one thing that they want to do is wrestle against each other, go against each other, and they're finally getting their opportunity. Triple H is putting it together so well that it's one of those things where you're just like, you're glued to it because you're like, okay, Jay's wrestling. Is Jimmy going to show up tonight? And the same thing goes when Jimmy's wrestling. Is Jay going to show up tonight and cost a match? So it's making it interesting. I'm glued to the TV between Raw and SmackDown, and I used to be like you. I used to be all about Raw. I really never really watched SmackDown. Now it's to the point I like both.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way that they split up everybody, you got veterans in Raw, you got veterans in SmackDown, and then you got, you know, new people that are coming into both. And so they're just making it so interesting now to the point, like you said, you're glued. It's like I have to watch it every Monday, every Friday. The only one I still haven't gotten into is NXT. Even though that's where our new talent's coming from, I still have yet to get myself to watch NXT.
NXT is I enjoy it just because I enjoy seeing how each individual develops over the weeks. I actually saw Big Cass right before he wrestled in Houston on NXT. Him and what's his name? They were the tag team. Why am I drawing a blank right now?
Which one are you talking about?
Big Cass, he was tag team with
Enzo Amore.
Enzo Amore, yes.
And you can't teach
that. Yeah, I saw them, and then like I think it was like 3 months later when they debuted on Raw, and like going back and watching their older stuff, seeing like them from the beginning to where they debuted and how much they had developed. It was just I love watching that kind of stuff. So I actually got into wrestling not to do the wrestling part of it, but I got into it because it's such an art to be in that ring and suspend people's disbelief. That is why I got into this business. And to see people learn how to do that from not being very good to being like, oh, the top dog. I love that.
Well, Tim, since we're talking about WWE, let's go ahead and segue this into our WrestleMania predictions.
Before we continue on. All right. Let me get that all started here.
It's like before I wasn't prepped for this.
Pretty much.
Thanks,
right,
man.
And since we talked about the well, no, we really didn't talk about it. Never mind. I'm sorry. And we'll start off with like the lower card matches, and then we'll work our way up to the main event. I don't know how you have the pictures ordered, but it doesn't matter, I don't think.
He'll show.
Yeah, just waiting for it to pop up. If not, I have the match listings on my phone. It's no big deal.
Yeah, it's not wanting to pop up for me right now. Let me see.
No worries. Give me just a second.
That's how it always goes. You test it out to begin with and it works, and then you go live and it's like, no, not today.
Pretty much. There we go.
Okay. Well, there we go. We'll just start off with that one. Like I said, these matches are in no particular order. It's just how they're laid out, how we have them. But first, we have the Women's World Championship match between Rhea Ripley and Becky. Like I said, we'll just give quick predictions. We won't take up much more of your time. Let's give Ryan the floor. Who's your winner on that one?
Ripley and Bailey, you said?
Becky Lynch, yeah.
Becky Lynch. I think Rhea's going to keep it.
You think so?
Yeah. I think it's going to be a good match, but she's going to keep it.
I want her to. I remember Mommy's always on top. I don't want to see her title reign in, especially by Becky. Like, nothing against Becky. She doesn't need the belt.
No, she doesn't. She can be in so many feuds without it. Yeah.
Don't need it. Rhea needs the belt. She brings, I don't want to say prestige, but she brings something to that belt, man. Every time she comes out, that's it. Man, every time she comes out, you want to watch her. Becky Lynch, I don't have that same feeling.
And see, and I'm total opposite. I'm going for Becky Lynch on this one.
Are you really?
Yes. The thing is I feel like there's a story coming that with the Judgment Day, and they're going to be stripped of all their titles.
Okay, so Isaiah had to leave. His wife is not feeling good at the moment, so he had to dip out. He said sorry about that.
Hope she feels better.
Yeah. Family is bigger and more important.
Absolutely.
But who do we got next?
Let's see here.
All right, for the women's championship. It's weird saying women's world championship and then women's championship. We have Io Sky versus Bailey. Finally, Bailey getting a moment to shine at WrestleMania. Like, I'm happy.
Yes.
And Io Sky too. She's fantastic. I'm going. I mean, this seems like the obvious pick. I'm going Bailey.
I'm going Bailey as well.
She's gonna have her WrestleMania moment.
So I think all of us are going Bailey, because I'm sorry, and I've talked to Dan about this too. The thing about Io Sky is she's shown a lot of potential, but she's not there yet.
Dude, that's wrong. She is so there.
No,
she is there.
You take out Damage Control. Fully take out Damage Control.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see if she can keep that title.
I think she could.
I think she could. I think it's hard to cross. I think the promos need help.
Yeah, I will.
But I think ring wise, she does. She's a heel. She's doing exactly what she needs to do as a heel to retain her title. And without that, she'd still find a way to retain the title.
Yeah, I mean I guess I have a different look on things, just because, like how you said, we all come from the Attitude Era.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm seeing Io. Yeah, she's a good performer. She plays her character really well. She's a heel. She's doing really well. The thing is, like I said, without Damage Control, without Asuka and that other girl that she's with, and then to me, I don't think that she has it fully yet. Like, I don't think she's main event there yet.
Yeah, but if you look at look at Triple H. Triple H ran with DX for a while.
True.
And then when he left DX, because he kept his title a large part for DX. But when they all split and everything else, it was either sink or swim.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you're right, but at It all just depends on how she does and how she steps up to the plate.
Yeah.
So she may not be ready. She may not be quote unquote ready there, but give her that moment. And anybody who's in this industry, you want to have the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for me, for example, I'm older. I know that the likelihood of me being signed to a major promotion isn't there. But that doesn't stop me from being better at what I do, being the best, trying to have the match of the night, trying to blow everybody out the water and perform and put on a great show.
Yeah.
Giving me more and more opportunity, as I step up into the next levels every single time. I rise to the occasion. There's some people who can, there's some people who can't. So I think it really depends on that person in that moment whether or not they're going to shine.
Yeah. And so, like I said, I'm hoping, like I do see a lot of potential in EO. Like I'm not biased on anybody. I have an open mind on everybody. It's just, for me, I think this is Bailey's time.
Yes, I agree.
Like
she was a great heel champion before. She ran with it. She had the crowd. Like she was doing so good. And now that she's going back to face, I think she deserves her face run.
yeah.
You don't think she'll go? Do you think she'll go back to the hugger gimmick?
No, I think she's gonna modify and she's gonna evolve into the next level.
Yeah.
I think at times, just like any other wrestler who reinvents themselves, they go back to it. Recently Chris Jericho went Lionheart.
Yeah.
His stuff,
Yeah.
kind of that. I don't think she'll ever get away from that per se when she's a face, but I don't think she's gonna like fully embrace, no pun intended, the hugging gimmick.
So when you said that about Jericho, I don't know how much you've been paying attention to it, but yes, he's doing the Lionheart gimmick now. But is he using his original theme that he used in AAA? Do you know?
I don't know. I've only seen clips of it. I haven't seen the intro and the start to finish and everything. I just saw his gear and some of the match.
So he's not using Judas like he normally uses.
Yeah.
He's using like an old White Zombie song. And I'm like, shit, was he using this when he was in AAA or EC? He might have been doing it when he was doing the Lionheart gimmick in ECW. But I'm like, dude, this is cool.
Yep. I love it when characters bring out old, like when Seth Rollins came out as the Shield, Taker came out after being retired as the American Badass.
Yeah.
To reprise those roles even for a night just to get the fans a flashback and a memory that they had when they were way younger. I love that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Let's move on. This is a good one. I think Daniel's gonna love this one. What about this one, Daniel?
Okay, so this one, the next one between Gunther and Sami Zayn, I'm kind of sour on this one. Because me and along with a lot of other people were really hoping it was going to be Gunther versus Chad Gable. I was hoping it would have been. Now that Sami Zayn is in it, no offense against Sami, I want Gunther to smash the shit out of him. I'm over the whole Sami thing now. I just am.
I wouldn't say I'm over the Sami thing. I'm sad that they did not capitalize on that more, which is why I would not be mad if he won. There's plenty of ways you could spin it off. One of them being it's WrestleMania, so he's going to turn it up a notch. And then you can have Chad Gable and Sami Zayn, which I think that whole series of matches they're going to put on is going to be fantastic. But also, getting the title off Gunther will allow him to move towards the main event.
Yep.
I agree.
So it's I wouldn't be mad if Sami Zayn won, but I wouldn't be surprised if Gunther won.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I have a feeling what's gonna happen is, and this is just my opinion, Daniel, you can disagree with me on this one.
No, go ahead, Bubba.
But I think they're gonna let Sami Zayn take it, so Gunther can move up to winning the world title.
Yeah.
And then, but Sammy's not gonna have it very long. I think after Money in the Bank, someone's gonna go after him when Sammy's down. I don't know who, but I have a feeling they're not gonna let Sammy hold on to that title very long.
I think they're
Possible.
setting up for a Chad Gabriel. For a not Chad Gabriel. You just said his name. It was supposed to be him and Gunther, and they made it Sammy.
Chad Gable.
Chad Gable.
Okay, so I was right. I was
Yeah.
thinking of somebody else. Sorry. Yeah, I think they're setting up to turn him heel.
So you think they're gonna get him out of the Alpha Academy?
Yep.
Yeah, I want them to give him a more serious character.
Or they're going to turn the whole Alpha Academy heel and take them all seriously. I mean, they're all talented.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Turn him heel and
I
make it
wouldn't mind
serious.
seeing. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Otis as like just a ass kicker, man.
Yeah, he's strong. He's very funny and a good face, but he looks like he can put on a really good heel as well.
yeah, I agree.
And be just like he can just destroy things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, this one's gonna be fun to talk about because I just watched SmackDown before we went live. But I'm gonna mention this one. Who do you think's gonna take the win on LA Knight and AJ Styles?
Ooh, that one's a tough one
Yeah.
because AJ Styles doesn't need it.
Nope.
Nope.
So I would think if they're going to build LA Knight into continuing the hype that he's on, he's got to come out on top.
Yep.
Now that being said, you still got the OC laying around. You still got you got a heel and no telling who could team up with AJ and ruin the moment for LA Knight. But man, I think AJ Styles might take it.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm going for LA Knight. It's just because I've seen him from the bottom all the way to the top right now, and he's grown. And if you go back to the Attitude Era, he has that drive as Stone Cold did.
Mhm.
And I see that in him. And LA Knight, when I first saw him, when I got back in, I just recently got back into wrestling after WrestleMania 39. From seeing him from 39 to now, how much he's grown and how much the crowd is just loving him, I can see him being the next face of WWE.
He should have won the Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
But the feud between these two, I don't know if it's going to continue. I don't know if they're building a story to keep it going for a while. It's hard to say. I think it's going to keep going. I think you're right. I'm going to go with LA Knight, but I think you're right. They're going to give it to AJ Styles so LA Knight can go after him again on another big pay-per-view and win it.
Yep.
What do you think, Daniel?
I'm going LA Knight.
You don't have that same prediction?
Nope. Give it to LA Knight. Let him have his big WrestleMania win over AJ Styles.
Yeah, I can go either way, but I think if he's going to lose, it's got to be because of something real dirty, some help or something like that. But LA Knight does need a win. He needs a big win. WrestleMania versus AJ Styles. He's got to do it.
Yep.
All right.
But before we move on, so you really quick, you were talking about wrestling memorabilia earlier. You wish you kept it.
Yeah.
Look at a couple of my prized possessions. The winged eagle. I had the WWE title that I had when I took a picture with you at the last event.
Yeah.
I have my IWGP United States title. And then my newest one, the AEW TNT Championship.
It's nice.
Yeah, those are my big hobbies I've been doing is belt collecting lately.
Yeah,
I think my biggest memorabilia was having the Ultimate Warrior, the pillow.
Oh, are you talking about the Wrestling Buddy?
Yep.
I had that too. I had that one in the Hogan one.
Yep.
Back
My
when
brother
those
had.
were made. Back when those were made by Tonka.
Yes. My brother
Man.
had the Hulk Hogan. I had the Ultimate Warrior.
Nice. All right, so next up we have Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. This match just got announced last night on SmackDown.
Yep.
Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dirty Dominic Mysterio. What do y'all think?
I'm gonna
Man,
go.
that's hard too.
I'm gonna go for Ray and Dragon Lee.
I can't wait to see Dad whip son's ass again.
Yeah, and because you say that, I think it's actually going to be Dirty Dom. He's got too much help that they can use.
He got Judgment Day. He has, Santos's little crew now. It's hard to say on this one. I mean, it can go.
But with that being said, they have so much help. The underdog might take it all.
That's true.
But I'm still going to go heel. I think Dirty Dom's he's on a roll. He's got the most heat.
Let him get the pinfall on his dad, because didn't Mysterio won their match at Mania, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let Dominic get the winning pinfall over his dad.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, and going into Dominic's character, I mean, he's playing that heel so well. I mean, the way he gets the crowd started, I mean, and he's doing it on purpose, because as soon as he starts talking, he moves the mic. He's waiting for those boos. But just the way he's playing his character with Judgment Day, now with Santos against his dad, I mean, he's just playing that role so well. And I'm loving it, because I hate him, but I love him at the same time.
Yes, his in-ring work as well has improved so much
from when he started.
So much. Oh yeah. I mean, his natural reactions and his what's the word? His timing is just natural.
It is, and he has to give all the props to a little bit to his dad too, because his dad.
Well, I mean,
his dad taught
not just him, but he grew up in the business. He would go out with his dad a whole lot, with Uncle Eddie and everything else. I mean, you've heard the stories between Eddie and Matt doing these 3 or 4 house shows in a row, and they're supposed to go 15 minutes, and Eddie's like, "No, listen to the crowd, do it right." I mean, just growing up, listening to them talk, because they would always talk about the shows, the matches. I mean, if he retained half of what he heard from whenever he was, little Dominic,
yeah,
dude, that guy's natural.
He really is, and that's what I'm saying. Oh God.
You were asking me, Tim, where's my glass of milk?
No,
there it is.
I had to load up the spaceship with the rocket fuel.
But getting back to everything, yeah. I mean, Dan, what's your opinion on how Dominic's doing from when he started after he left his dad?
Oh, it's great. I love his work in the Judgment Day. It's fantastic.
Now, do we ever see him leaving Judgment Day and trying to go venture out on his own?
Eventually, but right now it's working for him. So don't try to fix something that ain't broke. But eventually, yeah, you're gonna want to move on to bigger and better things in the singles scene.
I think what really, really helped him, and y'all can say yes or no, but I think what really helped him was him winning that title in NXT.
Oh, the NXT North American Championship?
That's what helped him.
Mm-hmm.
It boosted his confidence.
Yep. Yes. And he was, he was working with NXT with Shawn Michaels, going back to one of the greatest, and giving him guidance, even more guidance,
Yeah. So, yeah, I do agree. Let's see here. Who do we have next? Let's do, because we're talking about Judgment Day.
All right. So next we have the 6-pack ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. All I can say is we have a ladder match at WrestleMania.
Finally, again.
Finally. The last one we had at Mania was 31. No. Shit, when is the last WrestleMania we had a ladder match?
Wasn't it when the Hardys came back?
33.
Oh, wow. It's
Yep,
been that long.
at 33.
Yeah, I think that's the last
So
one.
It's been 7 years. But we have the New Day, we have the Judgment Day, we have DIY, or Truth refers to them as D-Generation X. We have the New Catch Republic, that's Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, and then we have A-Town Down Under. I think the most obvious pick that I want is probably going to be Awesome Truth, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was DIY.
I'm hoping to go with R-Truth again because we don't know how much longer he has in wrestling. That boy's old.
That man deserves a WrestleMania moment.
Yeah, I think he's got it before, but also like I think between him and Miz, and just my opinion, Miz is one of the most underrated guys in the business.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe not the most, but one of the most underrated guys. He is an absolute success story, even in a heel, you know. But Miz and R-Truth both have been able to turn anything given to them, even if it was like just something throwaway, into absolute gold.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm not expecting R-Truth to go in there and do backflips off ladders, but you know he's going to do some funny shit.
Yes.
And that's all that matters. Because I think he's apparently over his fear of ladders. He had a fear of ladders back in the day.
Before, yeah,
Yeah. He thought he was in the Money in the Bank one year, and he was told that he wasn't even in it.
Yeah, and then he went to the Royal Rumble. He pulled the
He
ladder
tried to
out.
win. He tried to win the Money in the Bank at the Royal Rumble. That dude is just gold. He is a absolute treasure.
Even if he,
And what I love,
oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say even if he retires of wrestling, keep him in, like kind of like Paul Heyman, keep him in the business, keep him as comedy,
He'd probably be a backstage agent.
Mm-hmm.
keep him as
I
a
think
thing.
what I love about him is that like he is does a lot of comedy stuff. It's really funny, but also at a certain point he clicks on the it's time to go, and he gets serious and has a great match. Um, and he's very intense,
Oh yeah.
very athletically given, and then all of a sudden he'll come out with this comedy stuff again. Like I love the way he can flow into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but yeah, I mean, out of everybody, I'm gonna go with R-Truth. I really do. I mean, I like Kofi. But I mean, I don't want what's his name? It's right there.
You talking about A-Town Down Under?
Yeah,
Austin Theory and Grayson Waller.
I despise those two.
Yeah, I do too. But they're great when it being hated is their goal. They're doing it good.
They really are. I mean, it's just like going back to Texas All Star. I mean, you got some guys in there like Lobo's little crew.
Oh, the tribe.
The tribe. Yeah, I mean, it's just like them. You love watching them, you interact with them, but they play their role so well to the point you hate them at the same time. Like, kind of give you. Go ahead.
What member of the tribe outside of Lobo do you hate the most?
So
it's hard to think.
I have nothing but love for Vinny Zuko. I like him. He's a cool dude. His tag team partner.
Logan?
Yeah, ball-headed one. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to say Logan too.
I keep trolling him online because I posted the post about you being on my podcast, and he was like, blah. And I'm like, bro, don't be salty that I haven't asked you to be on. He goes, trust me, bro, I'm not salty.
Yeah, I think the one I hate the most is old Don. Don has weaseled his way around, man. He used to be what's his name? Bradley's little lackey. And they became the tribe's little lackey. He can't he always walks around like he's big and tough, but he can't do nothing.
Oh, you're talking about the guy with the mask, right?
Yeah.
Because isn't he about to have a wrestling match against the girl? I don't remember her name.
Ember Lynn.
Isn't she only? Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't she only like 16 or 17 years old?
I think she's 16. Yeah.
Yeah.
He went against her at the previous Cypher show.
Yeah, Star Wars, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He lost.
Oh, thank God.
I remember, and this is always something that is so funny. Cam's mom and is Matt stepdad, right?
Well,
I don't think they're married, but
he
I think they've been
considers him
together
like
for a
son.
while. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he was yelling at Lobo, "What is your coat made out of? Possum?"
Oh, I love the crowd when they get into it.
Oh, I
Yes.
mean, so before we move on with our polls, so give you a little backstory. Mine and Dan's first show with y'all was in Conroe at the
Mhm.
Conroe Rumble, and me when we had Vinny on our last podcast, we told him because he's like, yeah, some people were yelling at me in the crowd saying you ain't no Roman Reigns. And that was me and Dan because it was our first one, and we were getting into it because we're wrestling fans. No matter if
Yeah.
it's indies or independent, it doesn't matter. And so we're like, me and him are just like glued. We're yelling at it. We're getting into it. And I remember during the Rumble, he got knocked out, and he was walking around and being all this tough, and we're like, you ain't no Roman Reigns, get out of here.
I'm sure he wasn't happy.
He told us that he's been called all that, and we told him one of these times in the ring, you just need to do put your hand up and do the number one, or do some kind of
Reference.
Yeah.
to Roman. And he goes, I'll see what I can do. So,
Also, he was already on. Did he talk about how much he loves me?
I think he mentioned you. I actually believe, because we made a mention about the hug, and he said something. You'll have to go back and watch it, but I know he did reference you.
That's because I'm his nemesis. He has yet to beat me.
So I enjoyed having him on, but the only issue was he was using some like earphones like that had like the little mic attached to it.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of it wouldn't pick up. So there was some questions where we're kind of like, well, okay, yeah, even though we really couldn't
Couldn't hear him.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's why I went and got my my gamer headset right here,
See
and I
that?
attached it to my phone. I was like, nah, I want to be able to hear really good, and plus I want a good mic.
Yeah.
That's working.
Yeah.
Ah.
But yeah, so that little backstory, and then when y'all were at the VFW, that was our second one that we went to, and that one, I mean, of course, we're starting to know all y'all, and so it's making it even better. And so this one, when Cam won the belt, I mean,
Yeah.
we were going after ENX so hard, and I felt so bad because I mean, when he was even on the podcast just not too long ago, and even he was a lot of fun. He came, and yeah, we were picking on him, he was picking on us. It was a good show with him. But yeah, that one, going back to saying who plays a good heel right now, and that is Enix.
Yes.
He does it so well, and I hope he stays with it. I mean, even if
Not me. He's cool. I want him to be cool again.
you're like, I want those hugs again.
Well, I'm gonna get him anyways. I don't care. He can not like it all he wants.
So let's see who's next, Daniel.
All right, this one's gonna be probably a quick one. We don't really have to dive too much into this one. This match was announced last night on SmackDown. We have Bianca Belair, Naomi, and finally the in-ring debut of Jade Cargill versus Dakota Kai and the Kabuki Warriors. Like I said, I'm not going to go into it. It's obvious. It's going to be Jade Cargill and her team are going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's a depth.
That's a no-brainer. That's probably one of the few on the card that, as soon as you saw when she come out and they announce it, you're like, oh, we already know who's going to win.
Yeah. It's going to be cool, though. I'm excited to see Jade Cargill's entrance. I mean, that woman's got money all over her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And I really like the fact that they have kept her training and not too overexposed right now. She hasn't done too many matches. They have really been taking the time to master the craft with her, whether it be from camera angles or in ring work. They have I guess we'll see at WrestleMania if it's stuck. But
Yeah.
I'm really happy they have done it right. They haven't saturated her with a lot of TV time with no matches. I mean, she did, showed up in each one of them. She signed her contract, and you really didn't see much from her aside from Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
But you popped when you saw it Royal Rumble.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then you popped when you saw her debut, not debut, but come out on, was it Monday? What's this, last Friday, whenever it was?
Yeah.
Monday?
Friday.
But you popped whenever that came on. So, like, they've done that really well.
I mean, that kick that she did to Asuka, that
That
was,
Spartan kick?
yeah, that was nuts.
I knew she was going to be big when she was in AEW, and I knew that AEW was going to provide her the big platform that she needed. I'm glad she's in WWE.
Definitely made the right choice.
I know we kind of talked about this one, but the next one is Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso. Who do we think that's going to take this one?
This one could go either way.
You know who I'm representing.
Yeet.
Yeet.
Man, I'm gonna have to say no yeet on this one. I'm
Really?
going Jimmy. Yeah, I think I'm going Jimmy, man.
I think too many odds are stacked up against Mr. Yeet himself. I think he takes it.
I think this is because Jimmy's always been the center of attention, always, and this is Jay's time to shine. I really think.
I wish they would have dropped the Intercontinental title to him, so that way they could at least do a Intercontinental Champion at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Between the brothers.
Yeah, I do agree with that one. I was actually upset when Jimmy came out and did the whole ringing the bell and interfered. I really think that they should have let him have the title and then them two go at it for the title.
Man, I don't know why I like Cody so much, dude. I'm watching the main event of last year is Roman Reigns and Cody is on right now. Cody's walking to the ring. Man, I don't know why I like him so much, dude.
Because of me. Because of me.
All right, what do we got next? All right. This one's going to be a fun one. Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre with CM Punk on commentary. That's going to be fun.
I think he's going to retain the title because this trio together on the mic and in the ring is explosive. And I think they're going to keep going that long term.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I have a completely different opinion.
Even with Seth's injury?
Mm-hmm. I think he'll keep it until CM Punk can come back and drop it off either CM Punk or Drew McIntyre.
Or, I'm going to throw this one out there.
Mm-hmm.
Seth wins, but is hurt badly because someone still has the money in the bank.
On the other hand, I think it could be very easy. Well, I'll get into that one when we get to that match. But yes, I see what you're saying, but I think that's going to be saved for another match.
What I think, Drew will win the belt, have his moment, only for Priest to cash in and ruin his moment. That's what I hope happens. That's what I hope happens.
I'm hoping that Seth keeps it just because, yes, Drew needs another shot to shine. I will admit that. Drew is a wonderful wrestler. I've watched him from when he started even to now. He needs his time to shine again. But with the storyline going on right now, I think that they're going to have Seth keep it, him kind of run off being a baby crier, do something to Seth, and then Damian Priest is going to see that and is going to cash in. Daniel, I know your opinion, but I that's what I see happening.
Maybe.
But I do see your point. Drew win it, have his little moment, raising it up and the crowd cheering. Then all of a sudden, Damien comes out. Boom.
Yeah, you just hear dude, I'll mark. I'll jump up.
Yeah.
If I could pose this, I think going back to the tag team, I think they're going to retain. And the reason I say that is because I think in order for a long-term story with nuclear heat to happen, segueing into the next match that you didn't show yet, but I think that Cody Rhodes wins.
All right, hold on.
But
Because we're
not
going into that.
without help.
So
Are you talking about his match with Roman?
I think I talked about match with Roman. I think that they're going to get beat up a little bit, and then at the end of the match, Rock's going to help him win because Bloodline's going to come out. They're going to try to jump him, whatever. At the end of the day, Cody Rhodes is going to be beaten and battered.
Okay.
And that's when Mr. Money the Bank comes in and cashes it in.
Oh wow, dude!
And now
that's a
now
turn.
he goes to SmackDown, but who else is on SmackDown? The Universal Tag Team Champions that can go each show.
Yep.
So now the Judgment Day can go to every single show.
Dude, if that happens, that would be crazy. And that's what we were talking about earlier is the unpredictability of this. This is fun. Wrestling is fun again to watch.
Yeah.
It's fun to not know. You're just guessing.
Yeah. Yeah. Because there's been a lot of WrestleManias within the last 5 years that are super predictable. This one, I have the honor to say it's not.
Mm-mm.
And that's why, dude, I'm so antsy around this time, man. I want it to get here. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
But it looks like the next match is indeed the biggest tag team match in WrestleMania history. We have Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes versus the final boss, The Rock, and the tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
And this is the first night.
Yeah, and this is night one.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to go out on a limb, and I think Rock and Roman are going to win it, making it Bloodline rules on night two. Because I don't think Cody's going to get a clean sweep both nights. I would be surprised.
Yeah, I think Rock's gonna stick with Roman through night one, and on night two, I think he's gonna turn on Roman and go back to face.
I think so too. And the thing is that he's part of the board now. So I mean, he did his debut here just for WrestleMania. It's kind of like how they used to do it. They bring back a veteran for WrestleMania for one of the matches, and then they're gone again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
from what I understand, he is supposed to take some time off to film a movie and then come back. From what I understand, he signed a pretty good deal, and it wasn't a one-time deal just for WrestleMania. It's supposed to be for all the way through SummerSlam.
Yep.
With time off to go film his movie.
Yep, because it's all going to circle back around to Rock versus Roman.
Oh yeah, it's gonna circle back around.
That'll headline SummerSlam.
And of course,
I'd like to keep it going all the way to WrestleMania next year.
And of course, the last picture was, you already brought it up. That's why I just went straight into first night. Roman and Cody. I have a feeling Cody's going to finally finish his story. And I say that because I was talking to a buddy of mine. I think if they don't let Cody finish his story, they're going to lose a lot of fans. WWE is going to lose a lot of fans because they've been hyping this story up for so long for Cody to finish his story.
But that's also why I say he's going to win it, and then Damien's going to cash in. So he'll finish his story. He'll hold that title. But then you're going to get nuclear heat from the crowd when somebody completely different comes out, destroys him, cashes in, and now he's got to start chasing again.
Yep.
But he still finished his story. He won. He may even win fair and square, and then all of a sudden Bloodline comes out and beats him up, and the Judgment Day comes out and beats him up too, and then throws out the Bloodline. Boom, there's your cash in.
But here's the thing, and like y'all said, it's unpredictable because Damian Priest has his mindset on Seth Rollins' belt. He doesn't want the undisputed title right now. He's after Seth. So it's it's a very hard.
Well, he's up to Seth because he's on Raw, but at WrestleMania, he got Raw and SmackDown.
That's true.
Opportunity awaits.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he can go for either or.
And if you're going for something you'd never see coming, kaboom.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, I think that pretty much runs down our WrestleMania predictions.
Yeah.
All right. Well, at this portion of the show, we usually give the floor to our guests to get your info out there. Where can people find you?
I'm on Facebook. I've got my page, Love Muscle. You can find me there. I'm never on Twitter. Call me old school, but I don't know how to work Twitter, so I just don't go to it. But that's pretty much it. I'm on Facebook. Find me.
All right. Well, before we wrap up, I think me and Tim and Isaiah were going to make an announcement. Is it okay if I make that announcement, Tim?
You can make it or I can make it.
All right. So tonight will be our final show on Twitch.
Oh.
Twitch.
Okay.
On Twitch. We have collectively come up with the decision that we feel that we can get this podcast out on a bigger audience through YouTube, which I completely agree. There's not a lot of people that are our age have Twitch. But we will keep the Twitch page going when I do my game streams. So I'll be streaming a lot of WWE 2K24 on there. But we will be live every Saturday night on our YouTube page. So what is it? YouTube.com/SN main event?
Yeah, it's still the same thing. All you're doing is adding the @ for YouTube.
Okay, at SN main event.
Yeah.
But man, tonight's been a great episode. Any final thoughts, guys?
WrestleMania weekend is looking great. And also, thank you guys so much for having me on. Good luck with YouTube. Call me anytime. I'll be here.
Oh,
Absolutely,
you're more than
Bubba.
welcome to come back. And I know we didn't fully go into all the questions because we got into talking about WrestleMania, but you're more than welcome, like I said, to come back.
Yeah, if you guys got an opening, call me up.
Oh, definitely will.
All right, Tim, you send us out, Tim.
Alrighty. Well, guys, that's going to be the end of our show. We want to thank our guest, Ryan Russell, the Love Muscle, for being on our show tonight. Y'all want to go watch him, go to the show. The next one is in Humble. It's going to be an awesome show. Go support it. They're a very well group. We support them. We want to support them even more. But other than that, you can find us on every platform that you can think of that you can get your podcast on. Like Dan said, we are going to YouTube. This is our last final show on Twitch, but we will still keep it open for Dan to stream on, so you can come around, watch him live while he plays 2K24. Any kind of wrestling that he feels like playing that night, come and support him. Other than that, we are out.